back. Still taking things easy on a very wonderful Sunday here, taking your minds away from all of the troubles that politics in Nigeria brings to you. I'm joined now by a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show for many, many years, who has deserted us. But we've decided to drag her back here today, but for something completely different from what you might know her to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Toyosi Akerele Ogunshiji. Thanks a lot for being here. Welcome back.
Good to see you.
We started this journey together.
Together, you know.
Eh? And now you are entering Hollywood. What's happening?
No, please. we start from Nollywood first. You know,
yes.
like charity begins at home.
Well done. I mean, you've done a lot of good work with Rise. You've done great things over the years. And now I'm seeing producer beside your name. Before we get into the meat of the matter, what made you go into filmmaking?
So, you know, when I came back from Harvard in 2017, it was very clear that the world was moving in a direction, especially around the significance of digital skills, you know, technology education. And as you know, before I left for Harvard, I had set up one of perhaps the most used education technology platforms in the country for secondary schools, basically digitizing education curriculum for secondary schools to be able to help underserved children and teachers access education content without any limitation. So sort of like self-oriented learning environments. But when I went to Harvard, it just sort of opened my mind, and I'd cross-registered from Harvard to MIT. And my dean there was the person who was teaching us entrepreneurial innovation. And it was in that class that, you know, we taught that of all the technologies of the fourth industrial revolution, artificial intelligence would be the most disruptive and the most transformational. So it made me very curious. And I mean, you know that I've spent most of my career working around youth and education development. So I realized at that point that you can't face today's challenges with yesterday's knowledge. If you really need to empower young people today, as against back then, the models have to move and change from what it used to be. And that's exactly the reason why, you know, I made a pivot into artificial intelligence. So I've been in that space working, you know, around policy, around education, around advocacy, and AI, you know, AI governance and safety. About 3 years ago, I realized that the way AI was going, especially within developing countries like Nigeria, one of the fastest ways to democratize the knowledge of anything is to leverage familiar channels of interaction to deliver it. And I really wanted to, you know, see a situation where I wanted to explore a situation where young people in Nigeria and Africa could understand how to use artificial intelligence to solve, and other technologies like product design, cybersecurity, 3D computing, 3D printing, cloud computing, you know, to solve some of our local problems here in Nigeria. And I realized that pop culture, music, film
is a very easy way
extremely powerful. Like, you know, that's like leaving opportunity on the table. Yeah. So it's not like I've made a pivot from AI into filmmaking. What I've done is to bring a convergence of artificial intelligence and creative storytelling to be able to make the first film on artificial intelligence out of Africa.
So it's called Makemation, am
Absolutely.
I right? Makemation.
The making of automation.
You can see it boldly on her shirt there. And it says it's the first AI film in Africa. Now, when I hear that, I'm
wondering... The
first
feature film on artificial intelligence.
On artificial intelligence. So is it a feature film on AI? Is it a film
made with AI?
Made with AI?
It's both.
What is it? Are the characters artificial intelligence generated? What exactly is this?
So it's both. It's been, by the way, it's been an incredible journey. Learning, unlearning, relearning, and just seeing what the possibilities hold for the creative and the digital economies of Nigeria and Africa. Makemation, from the script writing, we had to use a lot of, you know, Meta GPT, Meta AI, use a lot of runway, you know, LLMs, from trying to conceptualize the story, doing the, you know, quality assurance in terms of making sure the plots and the subplots fit into each other. We also needed to do a lot of work around, you know, moving from that phase of pre-production to production proper to post-production. In post-production, a lot of the...
Sorry, we can see the trailer on the screen now for those wondering. Yeah.
A lot of the, you know, AI generated, like a lot of the CGIs, you know, in the film. For example, you're going to see robots working on the corridors all of those were
In this
generated.
Lagos?
Yes. Corridors of schools, like corridors of the Makemation Institute, that's pure generative AI. If you've seen our cast reveal video, if you've not seen it, you're missing out on something. It's the first AI-generated cast reveal,
I have
wholly
seen it.
generative AI
Yeah.
cast reveal out of Africa, in fact. A lot of the scenes you're going to see in our virtual reality scenes, sort of taking the students in the institution to the metaverse, we're all generative AI. But I like to say that Makemation is a convergence of live footage and generative AI. Because again, the most superior intelligence is human intelligence. I know there's a lot of conversation around artificial intelligence will take our jobs, and all of that. But I like to say that it's not artificial intelligence that'll take our jobs, Ibuka. It's the people that know artificial intelligence that'll take our jobs. We now live in an era where the wealth of nations is calibrated in terms of their human capital. Nigeria and Africa would only be globally competitive when we give our young people the skills that guarantee competitiveness. Because a couple of years ago, when you think about the wealth of nations, it's usually in terms of GDP, economic development, manufacturing.
What you're producing from the ground.
Yes, and all of that. But I like to say that one of the fintechs in Nigeria today has a market capitalization that is equivalent of about 12 banks. And we never know how possible it is until it's done. This film is made by young people. Like, these are young people in their 20s and 30s. I'm perhaps one of the few older people on the film, but my director is 29, my production manager is 27, my co-script writer is 26. One of the young boys who worked on the VFX of the film, when we're cutting the first 1 hour cut, is 19 going on 20. This was the film when the US government was hosting the Global Inclusivity AI, program in September last year. Makemation was the film. They used to kick it off. Official film, Kenya Innovation Week 2024, shown at the Global AI Summit in Saudi Arabia 2024, showing at the UNDP AI Marketplace this, forthcoming week. And then, of course, opens in cinemas all across Nigeria on the 18th of April during Easter. I think that one of the things that's also been very interesting about Makemation is the fact that parents are very excited that for the first time they're able to take their children from whether they're 5-year-olds or 18-year-olds or 11 or 24 to see a film that brings together everything. Some of the people that have watched it.
Yeah, sorry to cut you there, because this AI conversation has happened a lot globally, and I just to say, oh, we don't even have lights. How are we joining this AI conversation? Our problems still feel so basic.
Correct.
But there's also the conversation by a lot of countries that Africa will have to leapfrog a lot of these things to become the next hub for development, on the globe. But what do you say to people like that who just wonder, AI, okay? We're still queuing for fuel in some places. Why are we talking about AI?
Those are artificial problems.
Yeah.
They are there are problems that, for us to fix our fuel scarcity situation in Nigeria, you don't need artificial intelligence. You need, strong will, political will on the side of the leadership. You need the right policies. You need systems and institutions that work for, the advancement of the cause of the people. Those are not, bigger countries are thinking about how they're going to go to space and go to the moon. We're teaching our children up NEPA. The moment you give birth to a child in this country, by the time they're like 3 months old, they already know when there's electricity or there's not.
Yeah.
But we must not stop dreaming because we don't have electricity. The world is moving. Whether Nigeria is whether we have fuel scarcity or not, whether there are jobs or not, the world is moving in a direction that is moving extremely fast.
And like you said, AI.
Like while we are here celebrating, I was with Sam Haltman last year. When he came to Nigeria to meet with the US consulate, and the highest number of ChatGPT users in the world today are from Nigeria. While we are here talking about ChatGPT, some countries are on GPT-5. Like the Makemation film, the generative AI elements that were used and tools used on Makemation was like, we used a lot of Runway LLM, we used Meta GPT, even the dress code that we gave to people for the premiere coming up on the 16th of April. Was pure AI generated. So you now live in but at the end of the day, it's important for us to begin to, teach our young people. Some people sat down in a room and conceptualized this. In the 1970s, the first film on AI Steven Spielberg made a film on AI in 2001 called Artificial Intelligence. There were AI films as far back as 1979.
So it
If
shouldn't
you
be new.
watch Tom Cruise's Minority Report of 2002, there was AI in that film. These are people, look, there is nothing you can do about an idea whose time has come. And the world is not going to wait on Nigeria and all of our problems. The idea of Makemation is to democratize access to the knowledge and the skills that would put the future of work in the hands of our young people.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, Nigerians love their Nollywood. Nigerians love their movies.
We love it.
And
I
it's
love
because
it.
a lot of our stories are very relatable.
Correct.
No matter how many guns you want to shoot in these action films in
we
Hollywood,
like our daddy and mommy.
we still come back to Nollywood because it's feel good.
Fantastic.
You know? So if I hear an AI film, am I expecting that feel goodness? Am I expecting a relatable story? One part. And secondly, I saw your cast reveal. Nollywood finished inside this film. How did you pull that off?
The very best of the best. I think this is a shout out to Auntie Shafi Bello and Uncle Richard Mofedamijo.
Yeah.
When this idea first hit me, I mean, the first person I spoke to was my husband, and you know, was like, go for it. But you see, we need stories. We need stories that are deeply rooted in our own realities as a people. So, for example, if you go to my Instagram page, you'd see that a few days ago, I went back to the Agoegun Bariga community where we shot all the slum scenes of this film to celebrate with them, give them food items, give them gifts, you know, give them cash gifts, and also officially invite them to come and watch Makemation. I'll take a few of the children from those communities to the cinemas just to be able to enhance their experience. I'm excited to see that a lot of old girls of Evadelaja Girls Secondary School are so excited to see the girls in the school in the film. When we say it is an AI film, if you say a film is a crime thriller, it's an action film, it doesn't mean that the entire theme and everything is going to be people doing AI stuff. It's basically the story of young people. Makemation spotlights how young people are using artificial intelligence to solve our problems, right? Like, you would see real life projects built in this country, not in China. You are going to be marveled at the sheer ingenuity of young people in this country. Just writing concept notes and saying we need to build this, we need to use Arduino boards, potentiometers, jumper cables,
wow.
We need to write code, use Python, use R, house them on Matplotlib, Kotlin. I mean, I had to learn a little bit of coding and some technology to be able to make this film. But the truth is, we cannot continue to believe. We've seen a lot of Papa and Mama stories. We've seen it all. Nigeria is ripe for. I'm excited to see young people and parents just say, look, I want my kids to do tech and I need, something that helps them to even understand it. By the way, I mean, when we showed in Kenya in 2024 in November, the Kenya Innovation Week, a number of the tech giants already approached us for, can we, take Makemation and use it for AI literacy in universities across our countries? And that's because when you put a young person in front of a marker board and do intro to AI and give them a 6-week course, they won't learn it as fast as if you put them in front of a 2-hour film, tell them to watch it, come back and write what did they learn and discuss it in the classroom. So we're moving to more blended learning. But beyond
the content era.
Yeah, but we also understand that people won't come to cinemas to come and learn AI, to come and learn about tech and all. So there's humor.
Yeah.
There's NASBoy, there's remotes. Like you said, the whole of Nollywood.
Yeah, R&D, Ali Nuhu.
Ali Nuhu, Shafi Bello, Wumi Toriola, Lola Idije, Tommy Ojo, the Gen Zs, Adeolu Akintoba, Trix Joseph, the MD of Sterling Bank, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, Inyolu Aboyeji of Andela on Flutterwave, Ifedro Simieti of Economy.
They play themselves or are they coming as
well, they played.
Oh, we'll find out when we get there.
You find, go to the cinemas on the 18th. But guess what? The idea wasn't just to make a film. It was to contribute to the global agenda of the creative economy and the digital economy. When you say, we did a cinema exhibition for cinema operators about 2 weeks ago. And if I've never felt prouder of our cast and crew, I left that place saying to God, I don't want pride after this film. Like this, the feedback for people that have watched it, whether it's VFX and CGI, whether it's story and plotting, whether it's character, development, whether it's cinematography, stunning aerial cinematography, never before seen locations, shot at Microsoft Africa Development Center. PwC Africa opened their headquarters for us to shoot. We shot on water. We did a lot with Lagfair. We did a lot in schools. It's a complete story that brings, we describe it as the tech family movie of the year. It's a film that a father, a mother, and we were also very big on the unity of Nigeria. We wanted a northern husband and an Igbo wife. We wanted to show that no tribe is more superior or inferior to the other one. But more than anything, you would look, even in our casting, if you are from the north, Alinuhu represents you. Even in language, Ibrahim Chata represents you. If you are from the east, there's Choma Chukwuka, there's Tony Umez, there's Jude Chukwuka. If you are Yoruba, you know, there's Wumi Toriola, there's Lolai DJ, there's Jide Kosoko, there's Chimezie Imo from the east, right? So we knew that we made this film with absolute respect. With absolute respect for our audience. Yes, knowing that this is a pure generative AI-made cast reveal. And I'm seeing, I mean, when we go to TikTok and Instagram and just see what young people are saying about Makemation, like, you know, Nigeria too is ready, you know, people are feeling proud. Like, we watch a lot of these films. We go, I mean, we pay a lot to watch Bollywood, watch Z World, we watch all these Korean dramas and all that. When will they start to sit down and watch our films too?
All right.
You know, in spite of language, in spite of the quality. I mean, Nigeria is a great country. We've made some of the best films out of this. You have to give it to Auntie Funke Akindele, Tony Abraham, Wumi Toriola, and all of those women, Messi Aigbe, breaking all the women and the men, Uncle Ewa, breaking all the records.
We'll get to that. But I mean, as you're talking now, I see the passion. Like I said, we've known you over the years, you know, from Rise to your AI transition and, you know, this stint with Nollywood that might become another part of your life full-time, we never know. But you stay passionate, you know, especially for young people. And this is a time when a lot of young people are, for want of a better word, without hope. You know, there's not a lot inspiring young people anymore. And you still stay that way. How do you talk to a young person today, as quickly as we can, because we don't have enough time left, to a young person today to stay hopeful in Nigeria, that things can still work out, that they can actually do things on their own?
Finding your true north. Knowing who you are, being grounded in spite of your circumstances, the environment you find yourself, the opportunities that people place before you. In the course of making this film, I died several times and came back, learned a lot, lost a lot, gained a lot. But beyond everything, I think at the point that as an individual, you learn to understand that there's a higher calling. Young people in Nigeria need to stay hopeful. This country belongs to young people.
All right.
The people that are the agenda setters, the trailblazers, the people that are calling, young people just, the day young people in this country wake up to know how much power
the office of the citizen.
The day the young people in Nigeria know how much power they have, that mobile phone in their hands on TikTok and Instagram can transform the way, the leanings, the mindsets, decisions, actions of the policymakers and the people in government. That's the day Nigeria is going to experience its turnaround.
Thank you very much, Toyosi Akere Ogunshiji. Makemation hits cinemas on the 18th of April.
Easter weekend. Take your enemies.
You have holiday.
Take your friends.
You have Good Friday, only Saturday, Easter Sunday.
Easter Monday. And then going forward, there's Workers' Day. There's Children's Day. You know, a couple of governors want to take children to cinemas to watch it on Children's Day. A number of companies are also buying tickets for their staff to sort of take them. If you wanted that digital transformation in your company, and it's been difficult to sell it to your team, take all of them to cinemas to see Makemation. That's the beginning of that digital transformation.
Thank you very much, Toyosi. I'm looking forward to it. And
you have to come for that premiere.
Congratulations.
I would drag you on Twitter.
Congratulations. I'm very excited for it.
Thank you so much, bro.
Can't wait to see it.